I said, I don't even want to spoil too much about it, but we do get a pretty big character sacrifice. Obviously, it's so much is happening in episode 6.
Yeah.
But just, did you feel that that it paid off, or do you feel that it even is real? Like, we know we talked about kind of some theories with Echo and reversing time, and obviously the episode ends on a pretty weird thing.
Yeah.
But how did you just feel seeing that final scene in episode 6 between, Victor's monologue and then obviously what this character does?
Honestly, so
Actually, no, I give a spoiler warning. We're talking about the death of Isha,
Yeah.
or Isha's sacrifice, I should say.
Yeah. I honestly, at first, I didn't think it was going the way it was going. I thought she was trying to get the hex tech and her gun to get to Jinx, but obviously Jinx was hurt. She was on the ground. But I realized, so when she starts running, that's when it kind of clicked for me. I was like, she's gonna sacrifice herself. She's gonna do it to save Jinx. She's trying to do it to save everyone, that was helping her out, that was around her.
Yeah.
She runs through. You can see she starts crying as she's running through. Jinx realizes. She tries to get up, go after her, but Vi ends up grabbing her towards the end. She doesn't let her go. She puts all 3 of the, oh my god, what are they called?
I couldn't think of the name for them either, but it's the hex tech.
The hex tech.
It's the more refined ones.
Yeah. She puts all 3 of them. She took 2 from Vi's gauntlets when they weren't looking. She put them in her pocket at the beginning of the episode.
And the one that Jinx already had.
Yeah. She puts all 3 of them in there. She looks up, and before that, they show you kind of a flash of how everything was going between Isha and Jinx.
Yeah, like how their relationship.
How
blossomed.
the relationship was, what it did to Jinx, for Jinx. You can see in some of the clips, Jinx's eyes do turn blue. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like, and that's kind of them calling back to, like, that made her feel like when she was younger, like powder.
Yeah, like I said, she's not Jinx anymore.
Very, very, very sad, very shocking. When she did do it at the end, she kind of she takes it, she points it up in the air. And then
closes her eyes.
Closes her eyes, and then it zooms out. It shows you everything, like the full, like what is it called? The Arcane where they're at.
I forget how they call it though.
Yeah, and the explosion goes off, but as soon as it goes off, it immediately gets dark. It gets black, and you hear it's like a weird sound effect. It's like a whizzing sound. I don't know how to explain it, but it's something that it has to do with our theory with Echo. But it's very weird the way it happens with the explosion. An explosion wouldn't do that. Yeah. It wouldn't immediately get dark or black after like it did. So I feel like that is going to tie in with that theory, but that whole scene, I was not expecting it. It was very sad, very heartbreaking.
Yeah, and this is kind of what I was talking about, where like the show really does get personal and emotional really fast. Where like, especially in this season, like I said, this is probably my second favorite character we're talking about. So to see that, even as a kid, her willingness to sacrifice herself for Jinx when she sees that Jinx is in trouble, and to save her, and like obviously Jinx does try to go after her, but Vi stops her. She knows there's no helping her at this point. Obviously the Isha's theme playing along with it is a very emotional scene. I did cry a few times. I cry every time I watch this scene. Yeah, for sure. Immediately. But I mean, it's hard not to. Like I said, this is one of my favorite characters we're talking about in just a few episodes that I've seen her in. Right. And it is just so well done. Like, I don't know how they managed to pull it off. I'm sure that Act 3 is only going to get worse as far as the emotional stuff goes.